So behind me you can see the pole barn. My truck's up there, and got the driveway coming down the hill. Well, it's not a driveway yet, it's a path. And these are the woods that we've cleared out. The home's going to go over there. The view from that area is amazing. I'll show that to you. And this is piles of brush and trees that we've pulled out. I'm going to get some firewood out of that if possible, burn the rest. And there's got a few good trees over on the other side that I might be able to either sell or maybe one day purchase a sawmill and bring it out here and make some boards. I found a walnut tree down the hill toward the side back of the property that blew over after a lot of flooding. Got some low lying land down there, and it must have gotten so wet that the roots got loose. It's a huge tree and probably very valuable. I think it's black walnut. I've got to learn my trees. There's an app that you can get that I guess you can like scan or take a photo of a tree, the bark pattern, and it will tell you what it is, and I need to get that. I don't think it's free, but it sure would be worth it. It'd be nice to have if it's modestly priced. So here we go. Check this out. The Rhino 3150. That 3150, you probably know if you've been doing any research at all. The 3 in the number means that it will cut up to a 3-inch diameter tree or stick. The 15 means it's 15 feet across, and the O just makes it sound better, I think. 315 or 315 doesn't sound nearly as good as 3150. I don't know, there may be something about the O that's important. I have no clue. So these are the hydraulics that connect in. So these, I believe these two upper hydraulics, the blue, if I remember correctly, they control the height, the hydraulics that raises or lowers the deck. And then the green, we just set this up, so we plugged them every which way we could think of to try to figure out the best way to make it work. But the two green, if I'm correct, are controlling the wings. And unfortunately, the wings are not working the way they should. To make it work properly, what we need to do is either have, I guess, a third hydraulic back here or a T. And you can, supposedly you can purchase a T that you can take 2 hydraulic hoses into one and then plug it in so that these wings will independently work. Right now you have to really fiddle with it up and down to get one to react, and you got to get it right in the sweet spot so that it will raise and lower, but it's not really a big deal at all. So here is the what I consider the gorgeous Case IH 75C. So it's a 75 horse engine. It's a 4-cylinder. They have a lower end model called a 75A, and the 75A has a 3-cylinder engine in it. As far as horsepower at the PTO, I honestly, I can't remember. I had it all memorized when I was doing the research and comparing it between Kubota, Coyote, John Deere. Those were the 3 main ones that I was comparing this to. It's up there near the, I think, 75 range or upper 60s. I don't recall. But I was told by the dealer, take this for what it's worth. No, actually, I saw it on the spec sheets at the Rhino website that this 15-foot cutter requires no more than a 50 horsepower engine, which I don't think I would do that. I believe this 75 is pretty much giving it everything it's got to pull this. So I think it's going to work out just fine for what I have to cut. I don't believe I'm going to wear it out. I opted for this bigger cutter because it has stronger gearboxes. It's got higher ratings than a lot of the parts that it came with. Again, I just went to the Rhino website and compared the spec sheet. Of course, I liked the idea that I could cut 3-inch diameter trees with it. The the 12 footer has some benefits that this one doesn't, and I think it has to do with the way it tilts side to side and contours to the land, but my land's not gonna need a lot of that, so I think I'm in good shape here. This has the L620 loader on it, standard, so it came with the loader, and that's about all it came with. I need to purchase a box blade. I need to get a rear blade so that I can cut the edges and create the driveway up there, so I can crown it basically and get the water to run off properly. This area that we're currently setting in down here, this is a low spot on my land, and we had a tremendous flood here about 3 weeks ago, and this area looked like a little pond right here, and it took it about 4 or 5 days to completely dissipate after things dried out. Let's take you a look inside. This cab is one of the things that really sold me on this tractor. It's still got the plastic on the seat, of course. It's pretty nice, pretty plush, and compared to the Coyote, the John Deere, compared to the Kubota, to me this was just primo. And so this is one of the reasons that I went with this, along with a few others. Price point, this one's a little bit higher than some of the other models, but you're really not comparing apples to apples, because this is like, I would imagine, what the John Deere high-end tractor would look like. And I only focused on the E. I think it was the 5175E, if I remember correctly, and the 5165. And there was just really no comparison. I like the sunroof. It will open and close. Obviously, that's really for visibility if you're doing high loader work. I don't know if I'll end up doing anything that high and need it, but I do like the idea that it lets more light into the cab. And there's a shade that you can pull right here, and you can lock it into position right over in that area. I'm not going to do it with one hand here, but that will keep that sun down if it gets hot. It's got, I've not really used it yet, but from what I understand, a pretty awesome air conditioner. I know the heater works great. I did test that at one point. We're in April now, and so I'll be needing that AC before long. Had to take that quick phone call. So this is your loader, hydraulics. Wow, I guess even when the engine is off, it'll lower based on gravity. And then, of course, here is your lower gears. This is your base gears 1 through 3. And then you have 4 gears up here, which of course means this is a 12 speed altogether. You have your dual brakes down below. This is your clutch, and this is your tilt steering column. The entire thing will tilt down or tilt up so that you can get easy access in and out of this awesome cab. Both doors work on each side. Got the mirror right there. Got the mirror on the other side. These windows over on this side, they pop open and they lock into place just to get you some fresh air as you're going through the field. And then in the back you have this window that will pop open and stay open, so you can kind of look and check out your hydraulics back there, your PTO and your 3-point hitch and so on. It's got a windshield wiper on here, well, a rear shield wiper. Got the radio up here. It works with Bluetooth, so I can check out my tunes and talk on the phone over Bluetooth as I'm going through the field. So pretty exciting. Got the key side over here. I am still going to be getting familiar with a lot of what these other buttons do. This is of course the PTO engagement. This is your 3-point hitch stops, and where you can raise, lower, and set it where you want it to go. This is a quick 3-point hitch, raise and lower. There's your throttle on the side here, but you also have the throttle down below. As you're driving, you can just simply use that. And up here are your hydraulics, the 2 sets, and there's a space for a 3rd set. This particular, the 75C, it comes pre-wired with a third function hydraulic space on the actual loader control. Unfortunately, it's only there, but it's not actually functioning. So I'm going to have that added. And from what I understand at the dealer, and you would want something like that, or at least what I would want it for is for a grapple, for example, so I can pick up those trees back there and move them and do what I need to do with a grapple. And so I can add that for, as far as the parts and labor for getting the third functioning hydraulic on the front. I'm calling it third functioning. It's a front hydraulic. It's about $1,200 to $1,500 is what I've heard, what I've been quoted. And then a grapple, of course, they range. You can, depending on what grapple you select, you can, I would assume, get something from the 1,500 mark on up. I think the one that I'm considering is around 2,500. Of course, as I get all of these implements, I will post videos and talk to you about each one of them and give you some good input. Over here, there's a PTO lock that allows you to lock the PTO if it's running and actually get out of the tractor. I understand that comes in handy if you have some sort of sprayer that's running based on PTO, and you can lock it and get up. If you do not use that button and you have the PTO engaged, the moment you get up out of this seat, it recognizes that and it will shut off. I love this because it has a buddy seat. I've got 3 grandchildren and others who would probably really enjoy sitting here and riding through the field, cutting the grass, doing whatever we're doing. So I'm going to make good use of that. Speakers up back. Light right at the top. All right, enough of that for now. I'm going to set you up and we're going to cut some grass. Okay, wow. So I've been going on the tractor with the cutter in the back for about 4 hours and 15 minutes. And I've gotten a lot done. You know, no doubt about it, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I've learned, I mean, I can cut grass, but with, you know, pulling this big 15-footer, you definitely want to cruise up a little bit and let you see some area. You definitely got to make some big wider passes. I'm going to flip it around and kind of just let you see this beautiful land that I've been cutting. There's also, when you're doing this, you've got to really look for ruts, because, and of course I knew where these were prior to doing this, but there are deep ruts where the water comes and runs off. I'm going across it right now. It goes right up through there. There's another one between those two hills, and you got to watch those and not go across them, but go down parallel with them. And of course, that when you got ruts right in the middle of your field, that certainly slows you down. I also went down there to the creek and backed up in there and cut everything nice. On the other side of the driveway, up on the east side of the property, there are 2 more fields, one medium size, one small. Then I need to take care of the edging of the driveway. Up there is where my shop is, and I actually even went on up into the dirt where the dozer had knocked over some of these trees, and I took this bad boy, this 3150 Rhino, over a lot of the roots that were sticking up, because there were roots that were 3-4 feet long. Most of them were an inch in diameter or less, and it just took them out. Another thing I did was, as I was going across, taking care of the mowing, of course I would come up on rocks. About 3 of them I found the hard way, and I don't even think it dropped the RPMs. Speaking of RPMs, I kept it in 540. The RPM shows up there when you got your PTO engaged. I was going approximately, I would say, 4.5 miles per hour on average. And yeah, I kept it in second. I kept it in second down here, and then up here I got as fast as 4th. So second level, 4th gear. That took me to about 4.7 miles per hour. I kept it at 540 RPM, and it just cut through it like butter. So let's, I'm not going to shut this down just yet. Let me pull the emergency brake here and pop this steering column up. Let's go outside here a minute. Look around. But you can see how nice it's cut. Of course, all I have is weeds right here. And last year there was corn that was planted, and it knocked all those corn stalks down really good. But yeah, it looks really nice. I'm really pleased. A friend of mine called me a while ago and said, "How do you like it?" And I said, if it'll keep working like it's working, and I don't have any issues, I freaking love it. I can't imagine doing this field, doing this property. I've got about total, I think, based on my best estimation, there's about 18 to 19 acres of open land, and you can't see it all from here. A lot of these hills go down and then back up, so you're missing a lot of land in between. And on the other side of that ridge right there, it goes down a little bit and it goes up over on the corner, and there's a few acres in there. And then on the other side of that tree line, there's a couple of acres, and then the driveway goes down, and I've got land on each side of that driveway I've got to cut. But overall, I think this whole process will take probably about 6 hours. And that's not bad for 18 acres. If I had a 5-foot or a 7-foot bush hog, go ahead and just, if I had a 7-footer, double that. No thanks. Yeah, that's a lot of money for the 3150, but it's powerful, it's strong. I'm hoping and praying that it's going to last for years and years with the right maintenance, and it certainly does a good job. One of the big concerns I had about it being such a hoss, being the kind of bush hog that can cut 3-inch diameter trees, is I was afraid it wouldn't give a finished look of any kind. Of course, it's not a finished mower, but again, look around. That to me looks pretty finished. It's as finished as I care for it to be. Now when I get grass up in there between all the trees, obviously I'm not going to be able to fit this 15-footer in between there, so I'm going to get a more narrow cutter, and we'll see what we go with there. But I just wanted to show you guys the finished product. I'll tell you what I'm going to do when I do the field on the other side of the driveway, and I'm afraid it won't be today because I've got to cut it short and get some other things taken care of this evening. I'm going to set the camera up so you can see, because it's really, there's a lot more of the wildflower, bushy yellow flowers over there, a lot of weeds. When I get over there, I will get you a really good view of you know, the bush hog going right down the lane and seeing how it's cutting. And I tell you what, another thing that was surprisingly quick to get used to was where to line the tractor up where you are not wasting a lot of time. Typically I kept about, on average, I would say a foot to 18 inches of overlap. There was a time or two that I cut it a little short and I had to go back and whip around and get it, but this is the first time. I don't think it went bad at all. So very excited. It's going to be a very lovely place, and we're going to have a lot of fun building it up, making it beautiful, and figuring out what we're going to do with this bit of land here to hopefully produce something. But I'll be back in touch. Hang in there, subscribe, like it, whatever you do. Thumbs up, I don't know. I'm not much of a YouTuber, but maybe we're learning. All right, talk to you soon.